When I was a kid, one of my favorite games to play was hide and seek. It is such an American classic. It's one of the first games you learn how to play as a kid. And as you get older and older, the games only get more intense and more extreme. Really, you are never too old to make a good hide and seek memory. But here's the thing. The older you get, the less often you're gonna play hide and seek. That's just the way that life works. But honestly, the older we get, the easier it is to still want to do the hiding part of hide and seek. Follow me on this. The older we get, the more serious our life situations become. And the more serious our life situations become, the more we want to keep that junk to ourselves. It becomes very easy to want to hide our junk, especially when no one's seeking. Maybe we want to seem like we have it all together. Maybe we want to seem normal, right? Maybe we just don't want to look like our life is broken in areas, so we try to keep it all to ourselves. I don't know why exactly we do this, but here's what I do know. Anytime there's a serious issue going on in our life, the most important thing we can do is talk about it. That's why our topic today is something that not many people are talking about. It's something that goes on all the time, but everyone tries to keep it hidden. Today, we're talking about self-harm. Maybe you're listening to me right now and you just got a bit uncomfortable because you're someone who has struggled with self-harm before. Maybe you know someone who has struggled with this concept before and you want to help them. Or maybe you're sitting here wondering if this discussion is going to be a waste of time because you don't know anyone who has dealt with this at all. Trust me, you do know someone who's dealt with this. They're probably just doing a really good job of keeping it secret. See, 1 in 5 girls under the age of 18 have struggled with self-harm to some degree. And that number is true for 1 in 7 guys as well. The big question I think we all want to address about this is, what do we do about this? Is there anything we can do? And the answer is yes, and we're gonna dive deeper into that in just a second. But first, I wanna clarify some things for us about self-harm. It takes many forms. Very specifically, some methods are burning, pinching, intentionally hitting or bruising yourself, but by far the most common form is cutting. And for people who don't understand why anyone would ever do this at all, it really comes down to one word: relief. Or should I say a false sense of relief. People who cut are hurting so bad in their minds and emotionally that they just want to stop feeling that kind of pain, so they transfer the pain from their heart to their body. The physical pain is a means to take their mind off their emotional pain. But it doesn't stop there. Many people who cut feel ashamed of their cutting, so they hide. They pull away from friends and family, which leads to more loneliness and more shame and more guilt, and it begins this snowball effect. So it's safe to draw the honest conclusion that cutting, among other things, does not work. It doesn't actually solve what we want it to solve. Adding physical pain to emotional pain doesn't create a relief from pain. How do I know it doesn't work? Because many people who cut choose to cut again and again and choose to run and hide from it again and again. And maybe it numbed the pain for a little bit, but it always comes back. And oftentimes the desire comes back even stronger. Most people who cut would definitely admit that things get much worse over time and as it progresses. But trust me when I say, I believe that today, regardless of where you land on this issue, you can leave equipped with an understanding of how to take one big, bold, powerful step towards freedom and show your friends how to do the same. Ironically, we're gonna learn how to take this powerful step by learning from a guy who really had no power at all at this point in time. We're talking about the Apostle Paul. And even though Paul is famous for his powerful voice in the Christian faith, today there was a time when he was completely powerless and went through some really, really difficult times and difficult things. We're gonna look at something that Paul wrote from prison where he had zero control over his life or his future. He says this in Philippians 4:8. He says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." Now listen, before you tune me out, I'm absolutely not saying when you feel like cutting, just think of something happy and it'll all go away. No, it's not that simple. What I am saying though, is that a real dude who was in prison, who had no control over anything in his life, told a group of people that they still have the power to control their minds. Even in the most uncontrollable situation, we get to decide what our brains think about. Interestingly, when Paul wrote this word think in this passage, in the original language, it means to take into account the facts. He's not saying fake it till you feel it. He's saying don't miss what's actually true. Take into account the facts. The things that you think become the things that you feel. And the way that we feel often controls the way that we act. So Paul is saying before your feelings determine your actions, make sure your thoughts determine your feelings. And what should your thoughts be, right, that control your feelings? It should be thoughts of what's true, of what's noble, what's right, pure, lovely, and so on and so forth. Another thing to note is that it can be difficult to generate these thoughts on our own. That's why it's so important to take your thoughts out of hiding. Get your thoughts out of your internal self and bring them out into the external. Don't play hide and seek with your thoughts and feelings, especially if the thoughts and feelings you're hiding have to do with harming yourself. And the bottom line today is hiding grows harm, but honesty helps heal. The healing process starts with these 3 points. Set your mind on truth. Replace lies in your mind with things that are true, right, lovely, praiseworthy, admirable. The second one is this: talk about it with people you trust. Hiding only hurts, honesty helps heal. And the third one is listen to what Jesus says about you. Look, you can see a doctor to heal your body, but Jesus is the healer of the heart and the soul. Keep these 3 points in mind today as you head to your life groups, and you're actually now dismissed to head that way.